What's up, REL 10B? It's Sace here with what we're going to be calling your quarterly recap, as I've missed the first 3 weeks. And joining me this week is a man very special, the master of hyper control, Cheese X himself.
Whoo! Yay!
All right, I need you to not moan in my ear anymore. We're going to keep this going. Let's jump into week one. You don't know anything about these teams yet, and I want to keep it that way, Cheese. And let's just look at our matchups here. The Arquipa Nurglers, Rebel, versus the Dark Elf Wave. Not what you'd expect. I mean, you expect Nurgle to beat out Dark Elves, but not in the first, 4 games?
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit surprising.
Isn't it a bit surprising? Nice MVP on the Pestigore for the Arquipa Nurglers, though. And
Yep,
we do have
trying
to
get to Sure Hands or perhaps Agility.
build a killer right away. Either way,
I feel like, yeah, probably.
we do have to remember that the Dark Elf Wave is coached by none other than Drunkernaut, the man on what I presume is almost a 20-game losing streak right now.
That sounds about right. Interestingly, the Dark Elves had better removals than the Nurgle and still lost. As in, the Nurgle didn't remove anyone.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Moving on, we have the horribly named Leaping Lizards versus Revenge of the Referees.
I also feel like this is the reverse of what I would expect in the first couple games of a team.
Chaos to take the first win over Rats.
I feel like Rats would just be more consistent.
This first week here, though, poor Gazgul was done facing my team and was down both both Storm Vermin and a couple line rats.
Yeah, I could see how that would be a hard game.
Yeah, kind of did a number on him. So week one, not super telling, but the Revenge of the Referees comes out on top, and a nice gutter runner.
Good MVP on the gutter runner.
Yeah. Then we have
towards that strip ball.
The Careless Coders versus Partying After Dark. Sorry, I'm getting some feedback from you, Cheese. Careless Coders is Cheese. Your mic is coming over to my end. You could...
Really?
Yeah. All right. Careless Coders is Keosublu. Jeez. Put push to talk on.
Is that better?
Hopefully. Let's try this again. Careless Coders is Keosublu's team, and Partying After Dark is Soul of Dragonfire, who I pegged in my pre-cap to win the div here this season. But a 1-1 draw.
It's one of those things you can never predict what's going to happen with Underworld. They're either going to do silly things or they're just going to implode.
Well, he inflicted 4 KOs and 2 injuries, but must have not been anything special. How's the dice looking for him? Not too... Oh, yeah, that'd be why. He only got 9 6s the whole game.
Yeah, that could be potentially a problem.
But 1-1 first week. Then we have the...
He rolled a lot of pushes, holy crap.
Yeah. The Suffering Incorporated beating out the Reborn Saskatoon Shiners, which is Brett versus Chaos. Again, another one where you expect the more skilled early team to take it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be why. 3 injuries inflicted, 2 KOs, 41 blocks versus... Yeah. Looks like he... Wow. Looks like he beat up on a lot. There was a lot of passes for the Bretts. 3 passes, 3 catches.
Looks like the only thing he was able to do.
Well,
I mean, on the bright side, he got an injury and an MVP on a peasant, so he has a dirty player piece.
Yep. I think he's realizing, I was talking to him the other week, that he's going to have to go foul heavy.
Yeah, that's basically what you have to do when you're playing Bretts.
Then we have Toe and the Meanest Greenest Boys versus Locus's Scumbag Chorfs. The underrepresented Chorfs. Uh,
Are they, though?
if you listen to Locust, they're underrepresented.
I
The
feel like there's a lot of choice teams.
That's because there are, especially this season. Toe comes out with a Blitzer MVP and a loss, and Locust takes a MVP level up on his Hobgoblin, but he gets the win. So,
I
and he's,
feel like the Orcs got the moral victory here. They killed the MVP.
uh, yeah, yeah, killed. There's no way he would keep
Although
that Hobgoblin.
the Chaos Dwarfs did get a lot of SPP,
I
but it
haven't,
does look like 8 of it went on the Hobgoblin with minus AV.
I haven't recorded this recap 3 times now, and know what's that Hobgoblin's still on the team. He took DP.
That's why.
Yeah, he's fine with AV6 and DP. And then finally for week 1 we have a blowout. The Walking Dead guys get knocked out of the water by the Jacksons and the Baldwins.
Typical Wood Elf game from the looks of it.
Yeah. Just dancing around 2 deaths. Ooh. It's a little rough to start your death spiral there with the Woodies.
Hopefully they were just linemen. Although the Wood Elves did apparently inflict 5 KOs in 21 blocks.
They also stacked their SPP on Daniel Baldwin and Stephen Baldwin only.
Presumably war dancers.
Well,
Or
Daniel
maybe
Baldwin is the
Kaz.
lineman that got the MVP. And I'm assuming a Kaz.
Ah, I see.
All right. Lots of upsets there with the bashier teams taking early starts. And then some not so upsetting matches. Ready to jump to week 2?
Yep.
All right, let's go take a look. Week 2. Our Quippa Nurglers come out with a draw against Transdwarfus Future. I know this isn't a super developed Nurgle team either. And another crappy MVP for Locust. Week 2. First one goes to an AV busted Hobgoblin. Second one goes to a Loner Hob.
Maybe this is why he kept the AV6 one. Can't level anything else.
You don't need armor to put your boot to something. Wow. Chorse won out on the armor breaks. Still only... And on the blocks, which isn't surprising with the addition of skills, and I'm assuming he's got some guard already.
Just having block.
I've been impressed. This Nurgle team's been getting outbashed in all of its matchups, and still coming out on top. So, he must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Well, geez, maybe he's participating in hyper control.
Possibly. He's apparently better at it than I am.
Everybody's better at it than you are.
This is true.
Next up is Saskatoon Shiners continuing their losing streak. I had Nosedive pegged as second for this div, and now I kind of regret it.
He's playing Bretonians.
I thought he was, after the season of Halflings, I figured he was going to go for something a little bit more tier 1. Not that Bretts aren't good, but I think Bretts are better in more standardized formats. Like
Something where there's limited level ups.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin crushing it. 20 SPP, getting the MVP. And
He's the one that got like 8 SPP in the last game, wasn't he?
Yep. Well, there's a lot of Baldwins, so I think so, yeah. And Rainolf Raincoat getting an MVP is also really nice. I watched this game. There was a blitz in there that kind of sent it one way over the other.
So another typical Wood Elf game then.
He got Morked. And then we've got Partying After Dark versus the Walking Dead guys. This was a concede win. The Walking Dead guys were not able to make time to schedule. And sadly, Soul only gets 2 lineman MVPs, or 2 lineman turn MVP. Nothing
interesting.
Nothing interesting. Revenge of the Referees and the Meanest Greenest Boys. 1-1 draw. This isn't that surprising. You'd expect the Orcs to have the lead in this matchup early on. before the Claw and the Mighty Blow come in the Chaos. So good on
Yeah,
the.
looking at statistics, there's more blocks and 4 KOs, so maybe the KOs happened early, like 2 KOs on Black Orcs early on. The matchup just snowballed.
That would make it. That would make it reasonable. Either way, a 1-1 draw. I'd count that as a win if I was playing Chaos in my first season.
Yeah,
Dark
good
Elf Wave.
MVP on the Black Orc though.
Dark Elf Wave, Drunkernaut continuing his losing streak, going 0-2 versus Suffering Incorporated. And that's a big level up on the Chaos Warrior.
2 very nice MVPs. Wish I
Um,
could get MVPs like this.
Yep. One got Blodge, Cosway got Blodge, and Fizzal got Mighty Blow. That's a well-developing Chaos Warrior. Did Fizzal got 10 SPP that game? Must have been a touchdown as well. Maybe a touchdown and injury.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would make sense.
So 51 blocks to 35. That's not surprising. No kills, but lots of injuries inflicted by the Chaos. And
Probably has some Mighty Blow by now.
yeah, for sure. And then we've got Leapin' Lizards back from their week 1 Storm Verminless game to go 3-1 against the Careless Coders. He just dunked on Keasublu.
He has a natural one-turner.
He does have a natty one-turner.
Already.
He actually had that natty one-turner in the Greenhorn.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, somebody needs to kill it quickly. Especially getting an MVP, it's going to level up soon. Get either Sure Feed or Leap or an Agi up or who knows.
Plus AV.
Plus AV. There you go. The piece that's only on the field for 2 turns a match gets plus AV.
That way, if you fail your one turn, you have plus armor for when you get failed.
I don't think you're fouling on. You're going to get 1 turn on the last turn that you're 1 turn.
It can happen.
All right.
Not likely.
So there you go. Cheese says take plus armor. 3-1. Nice to see Gaz bouncing back and taking it to the underworld. And let's get to week 3. Week 3. Our Quippa Nurglers see their first loss in week 3 against Revenge of the Referees. Looks like... What happened here? Even on blocks, more injuries inflicted by the Nurglers. Equal on KOs.
Amusingly, the Nurglers had an explosion.
Yeah, so, I mean, you got Rodders, you might as well follow them. You guys will have to let us know what happened in this matchup, or I might just have to go watch it after this, because that's not what I'd expect in a matchup like that. Especially with Arquippa doing so well in his first 2 weeks.
They both have 43% ball possession.
Yeah, looks like a... Maybe he just had
something went wrong in the last couple turns, I'm guessing.
Or he wasn't able to do it in the first few turns of the half, or the last 2 turns of the first half. And then we have a Dark Elf Mirror matchup, Soul versus Drunkernaut. And Drunkernaut does not surprise. If nothing, he's always consistent. He did not win. He was in 10B last season with his... Oh, were they Pro Elves or something else? Anyways, humans... I can't remember what he had, but they didn't win a game all last season. So
he needs to reroll to a bash team, is what you're saying?
No, he needs to stop playing the game while he's hammer drunk, is what I'm saying. But he follows his name in the fact that he's always drunk while playing Blood Bowl. And that's 2-1. Again, really nice MVP for Soul.
Looks like fairly,
It was a fairly
standard game, although 45, 46 blocks.
Soul stole the, they went 1-1 on the first half on Soul's drive, and then Soul stole the ball from Drunkernaut in the second half to win. Leaping Lizards, really strong. Now that they've bounced back after their beating from me, take another 3-point win. 3-0 over Nosedive.
I feel like no one wants to tie this team at the end of the season because they will lose out on touchdown differential.
Yeah, well, it's going to be rough. With a natty 1 turner to start, you know it's going to be bad. 50 blocks to 26 blocks, and they each got pretty even injuries.
That feels bad.
26 blocks, 3 KOs, 2 injuries. That's rough.
Both one expulsion, so they were both fouling.
Yeah, that feels bad. Your enemy takes half as many blocks as you and gets the exact same outcome.
Yeah. Although it looks like he only succeeded 1 out of 7 catches. That may be where the game went wrong.
All right.
Only made it 1 KO out of 5. Yeah.
It's rough.
That feels bad.
Then we have Transdorfus Future against the Careless Coders. Another loss, but a nice level up for Keasublu on the MVP to his Blitzer.
Yeah, get tackle or claw.
Hopefully claw. And another Hobgoblin MVP. This is the loner Hobgoblin that got it last week.
Is it really?
Yeah, he bought him, and this is his second MVP. So
that's a bit silly.
Good to know this Hobgoblin's ready for the MVP. I just checked that out. And then we have Jackson the Baldwins coming out with another win. They've got to be at the top of the table here versus Suffering Incorporated. We've got 1 death, 7 armor breaks. Lots of passes for both teams. This was a bashy game.
Yeah. Somewhat impressive that having almost all of his team removed, that he still managed to win it. Which I suppose is a typical Wood Elf game still.
Yeah. Already a killer building up on Suffering Incorporated gets the MVP. Get blocked next. So
not necessarily what you want, just because it levels on its own, but it's not bad.
You'd like it on a Chaos Warrior. And then finally, for week 3, we have the Walking Dead guys actually getting their game in for week 3 versus Toe and the Meanest Greenest Boys. That's a dead zombie MVP. And my phone's ringing. Cheese, talk about the teams. Go, Cheese, go.
So, first team, KSU Blues, Careless Coders. Underworld.
I apologize for that. I'm back.
Oh, that was fast.
Sorry, I got a family member in surgery right now, so I just had to make sure it wasn't them.
All
right.
Yeah.
Toe.
I am looking at the Careless Coders.
No, we're at the Walking Dead guys versus the Meanest Greenest Boys.
You told me to talk about teams.
I meant the teams in this game. All right. Meanest Greenest Boys getting a lot of SPP this game, which I know they needed, so it's great to see. Now let's go look at teams.
Yeah. Good
teams.
MVP on the front.
There we go. KSU Blue. Wow. Plus Agi Goblin.
Always nice.
Troll building up into a killer. Already won Claw Mighty Blow.
Blitzer. Got his Mighty Blow tackle, presumably.
He's leveling really nice. Both throwers have levels. Both blitzers have 2 levels now. The linemen are working on it. This is good. Nothing on the goblins. I don't know much about Underworld, but I know this looks like a good team to me.
Yeah, I'd say this is about the way you want it to go. More SPP on the blitzers over the throwers for the first few games.
Yeah. Well, he's holding to it. So, good job, Chaos. And right now he is, I think, 0, 1, and 2.
Yep.
All right. Maybe he can get something going after this. Next up is the Leaping Lizards at 12-10. Let's see here. Ooh.
This is disgusting.
This looks like my clan team. So both Storm Vermins, not surprisingly, low on SPP after missing their first game. And the one turner almost about to eat another level. An amazing skink number 2. If he gets 2 heads or an agi up, then you get strip ball, and you have the perfect
Or
sacker.
horns.
Yeah, you could do horns. I think I would do. If I rolled doubles, I'd go 2 heads and then strip ball. If I rolled an agi up, I'd go agi up then strip ball. If I rolled normals, it would go strip ball next and then try it for the next one.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. It's some debate around, just horns over 2 heads since you're already strength 3.
And then just blitzing at a strength 4.
Yeah.
It could be nice. Guaranteed 2 dice if you get rid of guard and go for it. I like it. I'm not gonna. For once, Cheese, I'm gonna say that's a good point you got there.
This is the thing. Skaven's the team that I actually talk about a lot and actually know.
Talked about it this morning. Somebody told me that they wouldn't take the edgy ups on my gutter runners on clan team.
Are they all Agi 5?
2 of them are, and then 2 of them are plus move, and then one of them is agi 5, strength 3 plus move.
Okay, I'm feeling a bit nauseous now.
You should. Let's go look at the Dark Elf Wave. Drunk or not, the perennial loser. I feel bad. Everything I talk about Drunk or Not is about how he loses. Drunk or Not, a real stand-up guy. How about that?
He's got 1 draw on this team.
2 guard. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to...
3 blitzers with dodge.
I like it. Though the movement bus, I guess you keep. The guard's really nice. I like to take dodge first on my line elves. Any line elf. Just because I want to keep them mobile.
Yeah, there's a bit of a trend of a lot of people like 3 wrestle on Dark Elves just to have your 3 linemen. Like, they're already move 6, so they're not going to be moving a lot. Mm-hmm. So just give them wrestle, and then they're just annoying. But
yeah, looks good to me.
I think I'd say both arguments are valid. But getting 2 guard this early on an elf team is really nice.
Especially because you can make it really useful when you're the more mobile team. So guard's always exponentially better for dark elves or most elves.
Yeah.
Then we have Captain Bubsy. Let's go look at his team here. I had him pegged as taking 3rd this season. Block on 2 Chaos Warriors. Block Mighty Blow on a Beastman. 1 Wrestle Gore just to make it so you can say I'm not a kill team. And then a killer building out. I got a wrestle piece. I'm not a kill team. We have utility. I know this argument well.
I mean, it's a bit stacked on 2 players, but that tends to happen when you have Mighty Blow.
If he can end the season with a level up on each Chaos Warrior and maybe like 2 level... If he can end the season with 2 level 2 Chaos Warriors, or 2 level 3 Chaos Warriors and 2 level 2 Chaos Warriors, he's in a pretty good spot. No ball carrier, which I like on a well-developed Chaos team to just not have a ball-carrying goat because you don't need it. But on a fresh Chaos team, you sure need a goat to keep a hold of it. So I'm going to suggest he builds a ball carrier at some point here.
Yeah, I'm always one for just get sure hands.
Sure hands block.
I hate edgy free.
Until your team becomes more reliable, it'd be nice. He could be waiting. I know I've done this too, where you wait for a double to pick who's your ball carrier or wait for a stat up.
That's fair.
You wait and you say, "Oh, he got the roll. He's not my ball carrier," because the skills you want are all locked behind.
Always feels bad to take like sure hands on the first level of a goat, and then your next level up is plus agi on someone else.
Yeah, I've done that. So that's why you wait. So I understand it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Soul of Dragonfire. Longtime REL 1 coach. Went back as pro elves and now doing another elf run. And this team's looking great.
It's weird to see him with this many players.
I know. He's got a Mighty Blow Blitzer to start out, which he's had. Devil's Triangle Part 3 has leveled up, so I'm assuming that's going to be block or wrestle.
One or the other.
On the
Probably just hasn't decided.
And then 2 linemen. I'm going to say one's going to be wrestle, one's going to be dodge. And already a kick.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very solid team.
I like it. It's gonna get there. It's gonna have a lot of blodge in the next few games, so it looks
Yeah,
really good. I stand by my Soul's gonna win the division.
I mean, he's really good with elves.
Well, yeah, he's the most experienced coach I think in this division, and he just got done playing elves at a high level and switched to better elves. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get tips from Trunkhead. Next up is the Saskatoon Shiners. See how they're looking after week 3. Guard, dump off, leader, blodge, dirty player. I know he's going to go for a dump off build.
So much for serious, he's going for memes.
It's the dream to go the all dump off team. I know Mustaze has talked about it before. Who doesn't want to have that kind of shenanigans? And that would explain the high passes in the other game.
Yeah.
Either way, this isn't a bad Brett team.
Yeah, I feel like I would have gone at least one mighty blow on one of the blockers just to have it.
I think I like this. I think you outguard your other. I don't think he's going to keep this for 2 seasons, first of all. So you outguard all the other teams early on and try and use that to steamroll some wins.
Yeah,
Because
that's fair if you're not planning on a long-term build.
use your starting skills to springboard into secondary skills that people aren't taking and hopefully get ahead. We'll see if it works. Which,
I
so far,
mean,
it's not.
as far as the 4 blitzer build, this isn't a bad start. Like,
No.
you've got your guard, you've got a dirty player piece, and you've got your 3 rerolls now. You've got blodge on at least one of your blitzers.
Looks good.
Yeah.
All right. And then we go to the man of the Hobgoblin MVP, Locus, with Chorfs. So we have really nice bulls here. Block, break, tackle, blodge. Blockers are underdeveloped, I think.
Yeah, you'd kind of want... That's not surprising considering all of the Hobgoblin MVPs.
And his former loner hasn't picked a level up yet, but his AV bust is DP. So
Yeah.
this is a slow developing Chorf team, and you can blame it on his MVPs. Like until the blockers start getting a mighty blow, they're not going to start snowballing into SPP. So at least the bulls are looking nice.
Assuming it's like a normal level on the Hobgoblin, I'd probably just take Dirty Player and kick the AV6 out.
Yeah, I can see that. I would. I don't know. He's clearly been a ball carrier on House Pet of the Future, and the SPP tells me that he's been ball carrying on his bull centaurs. So
yeah,
I don't know. I guess I agree with you, but I really don't know what else I would take on.
Yeah, it was like Brestle maybe, but it's a Hobgoblin.
Yeah, there's really no point there. We'll just wait and see. I don't think even kick's nice, but your bowls are the only one that are going to make use of it.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a blitz, you can get back there before somebody else. So I can agree with you.
It's nice to have against slow teams just because you force them to go farther, but it's not as consistent when you're a slow team yourself.
Yeah, you can get him blocked, and he could be your in-turn ball carrier when you get it. Like when you want to get it safe and hand it off to the bull centaur. But either or works. You kind of want to get the blockers more developed before you start getting levels on your hobgoblins. But slow developing, nice bulls though. My comment for Locus.
I'd agree with that.
And then we have the Jacksons, the Baldwins, Nooms, looking pretty healthy. He had a miss next game tree for 1 week here, but movement 7, mighty blow, frenzy, war dancer. You keep that all day.
Yeah.
Movement 7's fast enough.
Feels bad to have a movement down on a frenzy piece, but it's still movement 7.
Yeah, it's faster than everything else with frenzy. Niggled lineman. I think he's going to hold on to him until he gets a bench. and then cycle Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah, maybe considering to cycle the catcher since he's nickeled, but I don't think that's worth it because catchers are a bit more expensive.
He doesn't have the money to cycle it right now, so the catcher stays. But I
Yeah,
would first of all I wouldn't take sidestep first, but he might be using it to try in one turn with the tree.
that's my assumption.
But with
Is
only
he's just using it as a one turn piece specifically.
I think Lithamar is new though, so he must have bought Lithamar. So because last time I looked at the team, he only had one catcher, so probably going to keep Michael Jackson to do his one turns and then build out Lithamar.
Yeah,
But the War Dancer is looking nice. Strip balls standard for the War Dancer that doesn't roll doubles. And
he's got a Mighty Blow 1. He's got
yeah,
his tree and dodge practically across the board. Got
yeah,
a kick piece.
he's starting dodge on line. I like one kick, which I think is important for elves and Skaven, and starting out dodge on linemen, which I prefer. I think you want to stay mobile, so I like it, and he's winning with it, so it works out for him.
Yeah.
Cycle some players if you don't die. Then we have Mr. Kaldor Ditka. Were you around when he was in REL 1?
It's a name that I remember, but I don't know why I remember it.
Ditka is known for getting drunk and raging, but he also played the Bashy Undead team that came up to REL 1 and stomped some faces in. He pitch cleared me.
Does
So,
he play CCL a lot?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him. But Ditka went from Undead to pure Bash, and so he's got, let's see here, Mighty Blow Goat, Mighty Blow Caw Goat, block on all the Chaos, but 3 of the Chaos Warriors and Mighty Blow in 1. And then 2 hands, extra arms ball carrier building out.
Interesting choice, but
Most people will start sure hands, but I don't hate extra arms.
I think it's less efficient, but it's not awful.
I would get it at some point anyways on my ball carrier. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd get it first, so it's not a bad choice. It's just interesting first choice. Needs some tackle. Needs to get, I would say get block and then tackle on Lil Hell Reaper.
Yeah, he might have to go for tackle first, depending on his coming matchups.
Well, there is 3 elves in the division.
And a Skaven.
3 elves and a Skaven. Get some tackle, my friend.
Yeah.
So Ditka looking good. This is a good Chaos team. He looks like with the SVP he's stacking up on these Chaos Warriors that he's going to come out looking real good after Season 1.
Yeah. You can always tell a coach that understands Chaos by how much SPP they get on their Chaos Warriors in the first, 5 games.
It's the hard part. Then we have the Walking Dead guys with Latino Man. Latino Man, not to be confused with Spicosaurus. And look, his Mighty Blow Werewolf.
I mean, it is REL.
Welcome to the REL. Here's your Stat Freak Werewolf. Werewolves are the only things with level ups on this team.
Yeah.
He missed 1 game, so he's only had 2 this season.
Ah, that makes sense.
And he's a little unhealthy with only 9 players. But
But he does have Mighty Blow on a werewolf, so it's hard to feel sorry for him.
yeah, he'll get somewhere if he can keep this team going and make his matches. Right now, though, there's not a lot to talk about with this team. That's a nice werewolf, and that's another werewolf. That's a team, boys.
Story of every Necro team.
Then we have Louis Jono with the Arquipa Nurglers. This is the team that I wanted to look at. Came out with early wins, and wow. He has all of his
SPP
goats.
on everything.
He also has all of his goats already. I don't usually agree with getting 4 Pestigores that early, especially with only one of them having a single level.
Yeah.
MVP on each of the Nurgle Warriors. So I'll say this. He rushed the Pestigores, but I think it's going to work out for him because the fact that each of the Nurgle Warriors each has an MVP, and the one that doesn't already has block. And he's got a nice guard rodder.
Yeah, I could see it working out fine. There's SPP everywhere, but at this point, within the next couple games, there's just going to be so many level ups.
Yeah, and I think you stack it so you have 8 players that you want an MVP on and 4 you don't.
Yeah.
With more goats. It did balloon his TV value. He's 1240 with 3 skills, but all I can say is
But
maybe
at
drop
the
a
same
Rodder.
time, your Nurgle, you can kind of deal with inducements against you, just because you have the strength 4 and you have, all these inbuilt things that just make you annoying to play against.
Well, hopefully he's able to get some level ups before he starts hitting more developed teams later in the season, because they are going to
Yeah.
develop faster than him. But looking good. It's an interesting build. It was not what I was expecting when I saw the wins early on. So looks good. And then finally up we have Toe with only 1,000 TV Orc team. Oh, that's why he's missing a lineman and a blitzer for the next game.
That's a lot of guard on blitzers.
I like it. Guard is what makes Orc teams definingly good.
I don't hate it, but the problem is, you have no kill power developing, so your development is slower already.
Yeah. I would want a
And
mighty blow piece and a tackle. I would go 1 mighty blow blitzer, 1 tackle blitzer, 2 guard blitzers.
in this division, I'd say that's fair.
Why? What
Just
would you
because
go?
there's so much. My normal build is just my first splitzer level up is going to be either guard or mighty blow. I only get 1 guard blitzer, but that's generally because I start with a troll, so I've already got that 1 piece that's going to get guard. And it allows me to hold out on getting guard on blitzers, so I can get, mighty blow tackle earlier. I mean, ideally, you'd want some Black Orc level ups by now, but he's getting there.
I mean, he's got 1 block, and the others are at least have some SPP on them.
Yeah.
Challenge Green Boy is getting a lot of SPP early on.
Yeah. That, I'm assuming is just multiple
MVPs.
MVPs.
Let's take a look here. Wow.
4 injuries inflicted. Okay.
Yeah, 4 injuries inflicted and 2 MVPs. That would do it for you. Challenge Green Boy isn't that challenged. So, looks good. Looks good. I don't hate on the guard. I think he just needs some more utility with some tackle.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I just feel like it slows down your development too much.
Well, maybe he's playing to win the first season.
With orcs, you want to develop into having 2 killers, because I think you need at least 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of want to start them with Mighty Blow to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, it is so much faster when you start with Mighty Blow. It's crazy. All right, let's look at the leaderboard before we go into week 4 schedule here. Right now, Jackson the Baldwin's running away with things. 3-0.
Is Nooms a new coach to REL, or just someone I don't happen to know?
He might have been around, but I haven't seen him before.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, Noom's going 3-0. I mean, it's going to happen with Wood Elves. They start the strongest out of most teams, especially in a division where you have 2 Chaos, a Nurgle, and a lot of teams that just don't have tackle yet. His Blodge start is only going to be hampered by Locust, really.
So it comes down to whether or not he can keep this success going once some of the other teams start picking up the tackle.
I think he will.
I think it was slow. He's already got tackle.
Yeah.
Some of the teams are starting to pick it up.
You need it in this div. I think he'll do okay because there's not any spam tackle except for Locust. So once he gets past Locust, he should be golden. Then we have...
he's off to a good start.
Solo Dragonfire 2-1-1, Locust 2-1-1, and Captain Bubsy all chasing after him in second, third, and fourth. Bubsy's an interesting one. You don't expect Chaos to be at the top of the board.
Yeah.
Thanks for that insightful comment. Gazgul had a tough week 1, but came back with 2 strong wins, so that's good for him. And Ditka's in the same boat. Then we have Toe and Equip and Nurglers bringing up the middle with 1-1-1, keeping it balanced. And below that, we have Chaos Subalu just beating out being in the losers bracket. So good for you, Chaos. And at the bottom, we have Drunkernaut, Awesome Dude, and Latino Man, all with 3 losses.
That feels bad.
It does feel bad. Nosedive, not good at the game. Nosedive washed up confirmed. Hashtag reroll rats.
He just needs to play against like the more consistent, long thinking coaches. That way, his play style of I want to play a 40-minute game of Blood Bowl can throw them off.
Him and I usually finish in about a half hour tops.
I think
Beautiful.
my game against him was 40 minutes.
Fastest game I ever played. I loved it. I love playing
Yeah.
Nosedive. Easy scheduling, easy game. All right, let's look at the Week 4 schedule. The Shiners have a chance at redemption going against the Arquippa Nurglers, though I think it might go to the Nurgle in this situation. They're out.
Normally, I would say the Reds would probably be better off, but
I mean, they have
since he's
Dauntless,
going,
3 guard, all the skills.
since he's going all this passing and dump off shenanigans,
He has 1
I
dump
feel
off.
like
Settle down there.
it's one more than I would expect.
All right. Hot take. I want Arquippa to win, but I think Nosedive takes it. Just on team.
Just because he has 3 guard and Dauntless.
Skills and Dauntless and skills on everything.
Yeah.
And Arquippa has 3 level ups. Or 2. 3.
I'd agree with that.
And then we have I think this is the biggest match of the week. Transdwarfist Future, Chorse versus Partying After Dark. Soul's going to try and survive for his life and beat up on Locust.
Yeah. It's always going to be a matchup that feels kind of scary.
It's the hardest matchup for the 3 elf teams for sure, is to fight the Chorse this season.
On the bright side, Locust doesn't have a lot of Mighty Blow, so there's that.
But Soul also doesn't have any strip to deal with the bull ball carriers. And the Blodge ball carrier is going to be a real rough run, so...
He has a tackle piece, at least.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting match.
I'm going to say that Locust comes out ahead on this one, and that Soul's a little salty at the end of it.
I don't know. I think it could go to a draw.
All right. You say draw.
Like a 1-1 draw.
All right. Then we have the Jacksons and the Baldwins versus Revenge of the Referees. I think this is another win for Nooms. I think Chaos is not going to beat out on this much dodge with no tackle.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough block, so any dodge piece pretty much works as blodge unless you're going to take a both down. And he has no tackle to cancel.
This is the lesser developed Chaos Warrior team, right?
The lesser developed, the more wins.
Yes.
Or I think he has a draw over a loss is what the difference is. So, I'm going Nooms and the Jacksons the Baldwins.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably what's going to happen.
All right. And then we have the Walking Dead guys versus the Dark Elf Wave. This is your chance, drunk or not. Don't let me keep talking shit about you. Take a win. I'm going to say drunk or not wins it. You think
I don't know.
2 level up Necro wins it?
I feel like this could go either way, oddly enough, and I'm not sure why.
All right. You were super helpful, Cheese.
Yes, I am aware. Just this one, I don't know why, but I feel like it could go either way.
Well, then we're going to root for Drunk or Not as a team. Because we want him to win a game in the season. Right?
Yes.
Right, okay.
At least one.
And I'm pretty sure the Walking Dead guys isn't super involved, so he won't be watching this recap. Go Drunk or Not. Then we have Toe versus the Leaping Lizards. Orcs can be rough because of the strength, but I don't think that Gazgul has any trouble running around and one-turning this game.
I think the Orcs are screwed in this matchup. They have no tackle, no Mighty Blow.
The guard will make it nice. I think defense will be hard for Gazgul, but it doesn't matter if he kicks the ball first because then he can just one turn. And yeah, so I'm going to say Gazgul and the Leaping Lizards take the win. And finally, Suffering Incorporated versus the Careless Coders. The Careless Coders are actually more bashy than the Suffering Incorporated, but I think the 3-block Chaos Warriors swing this in favor of Keldor Ditka.
Yeah. Like, having a block Mighty Blow Chaos Warrior is just so good.
It is good. That is a good
Yeah, I'd,
word.
I'd say that ultimately it's going to come down to what breaks first, but the Chaos team is probably better off.
What breaks first, AV7 and Stunty, or AV9 and AV8? It's going to be the AV8. What are we kidding?
It's one of those things of you take out a Goblin, and then the Blitzer with Claw blitzes you, and you're down a Chaos Warrior.
True, 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 true. I'm still going to go with Keldor takes the win.
Yeah, probably.
All right. I think Partying After Dark and Trent Orpheus Future is the game to watch this week. If you were going to watch 110B game, what would you watch, Cheese?
Um, I don't know. It could be interesting to watch the Orcs versus the Skaven, just to see how they try to leverage their guard in order to stop the Skaven from running around them.
All right. So the Orc coach
It's
wants to
gonna,
watch Orcs.
yeah, there's that. It's like I play both these teams a lot, so it's interesting to see these two play against each other for
So
me.
you're excited to have good coaches show you how it's done? Ha ha! All right. That's been your quarterly recap. I'll hit the next week up. Joining me this week has been the man of many words and adjectives, Cheese X himself. Thank you, Cheese.
Thanks for having me.
And go out there and cause some carnage, 10B.